Nice defense by Moon. Moon doesn't even lose the queen. Very well microed. He pulled it back on red life. And Bomber not able to do much with this drop. So he's still behind and needs to do something about it. And in fact, Moon has a Spire somewhere now. Here. And he's got 7 Mutalisks on the way. So that will completely shut down any further drops from Bomber. I just want to point out just how amazing that Baneling bust was by Moon. It was completely perfectly timed to hit right before siege mode. You notice Bomber didn't have siege mode there until he lost all of his SCVs. That was perfect timing by Moon. Perfect definition of what a timing attack would be. An attack that abuses the timing, that gives you an advantage. So there he had one. And these Mutalisks shutting down that dropship there. And so it doesn't look like Bomber is going to be able to do many more drops with these mutas out now. And I want to point out here, so Terran going Marine tank, which is so beyond standard now. Every Terran's doing it. If you're not doing it, you know, you're not cool or something. So Marine tank so powerful against Zerg, and the best response, surprisingly, from Zerg is Ling Muta. Every Zerg is going Ling Muta now to counter Marine tank. You might think that's a bad composition against this. I mean, tanks will just destroy the Zerglings, and Marines will kill the Mutas. Yes, if you fight head-on, that is what's going to happen. However, the point of this build is not to fight head-on ever. It's to do exactly what he's doing right now. Moon, come in, harassing, killing off SCVs, and basically taking advantage of the mobility of Speedlings and Mutas, and abusing the immobility of Siege tanks and Marines. It's basically saying, okay, I'm going to have map control. I'm going to shut down all of your drops. So you can't drop, and as you can see, Bomber's not dropping anymore. And if you leave your base, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill all of your SCVs. I'm going to kill all of your reinforcements, all of your production facilities. So don't leave your base or you're dead. And so the point of Zergling Muta is really for map control and containment. It's a form of containment. Doesn't seem like it, but it is. Bomber cannot move out of his base because he needs to protect against these Muta attacks. And so now Moon has free reign over the rest of the map. He's going to spread creep everywhere, and he's going to expand everywhere. He's got 5 bases now to Bomber's 3, and complete map control. Let's take a look at Moon's vision. Look at this. He's got vision of the entire map except for the 3 bases that Bomber has. The entire map. He sees everything, and now he's safely expanding to 6 and 7. Just because Bomber can't move out of his base. I mean, Bomber's pretty close to maxed out. He's 181, but he's still not comfortable to move out of his base because he knows he's just going to attack by mutas. So, especially on a map like this, Tall Dream Altar, which is a huge map, it's so difficult for the Terran to play this style against the high mobility of Zerg. So, Moon in a very good position right now, and looks like he's going to try to do something with a bunch of Banelings here. Coming into the attack here, there's 5, 6, 7 siege tanks here, so very wisely Moon pulls away his Banelings. He definitely can't run Banelings into 6, 7 tanks. But he does notice that there's not many Marines here, so he's going to take them all and try to take the siege tanks out. But more Marines coming in from the back, reinforce, and Moon pulling away. Moon making some very good decisions, pulling his Baneling away, pulling his Mutas away, and now expanding 2 more times. So, and having a couple of Baneling mines. Bomber is literally suffocating, guys. He can't move out. He's got to slow push his way out into the next expansion. But after this 4th one, what is he going to take? The next one he can take is this one, and he has to slow push all the way around this corner here into these two bases, which are already occupied by Moon. So really, Moon is playing very well right now. Full map control. I love how he's being so patient and just waiting. Starving out Bomber, basically, is his strategy. But Bomber building a couple Thors now to deal with these Mutalisks. And Viking, it's almost like he knows Moon is going into Broodlords, which he is, because every Zerg does. It's basically Ling Muta, harassment, map control, starvation until Broodlords. And that's how you win. But hold that thought, there's a lot of Banelings here running into a lot of Marines. And Bomber losing a lot of Marines to those Banelings. And now these Mutas coming in, taking out a lot of these SCVs. Or they should be, but they were attacking that bunker there and running away now that Bomber has brought his Marines back. But Bomber losing so many Marines there to those Banelings. It was a massacre. His tanks were just out of range to kill those Banelings before they hit the Marines. Very, very nice trade for Moon. And now Moon building an Ultralisk Cavern, but he's got 9 Broodlords. And I love this response by Bomber. He's building Vikings and Ghosts. So very, very good response by Bomber. I don't even know if he's seen these Broodlords yet, but he knows they're coming. Every Zerg makes them from Ling Muta. It's just a standard. I know I keep saying that, but literally the TVZ metagame is Marine Tank versus Ling Muta into Broodlord. Literally, that's every TVZ game that's playing right now. But now he's trying to hit this planetary here from long range. There's nothing he can do about these Broodlords. Bringing in some Mutas to support it, but he's bringing these Marines in. He's got Viking to deal with the Broodlords, and these Mutalisks is getting destroyed by the Thors, and very poor control by Moon. He should have magic boxed at least, or just ran them away. Those 3 Thors just took out every Muta that he had, so very big loss for Moon, and he's going to lose all these Broodlords now to Viking. I love this, having Ghosts in the army to deal with the Broodlords. Guys, Ghosts are so good against Broodlords, okay? If you see Broodlords, don't just make Vikings, make Ghosts, okay? 5 snipes kill a Broodlord, 2 Ghosts with the energy upgrade can shoot 5 snipes when they spawn, okay? So, and I mean, way more when they're max energy. When they're max energy, they're shooting 8 snipes. So every Ghost can kill 1.5 Broodlords. So, but hold that thought. A lot of Zergs coming in. That wall is not up, and Bomber tried to put that wall up, but he could only get 1 supply depot up because the Zerglings were sitting on top of the other 3. Now he's in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of Zerglings in at the 3rd base of Bomber, taking out a lot of SCVs here, taking out that bunker, taking out a lot of Marines, and just being overall a lot of harassment, a big nuisance. But now running in these Thors now and siege tanks and completely takes them out. But Bomber losing a lot of CVs here. Literally, Moon has twice the number of drones as Bomber's SCVs. Bomber is making nukes. I think it's because he's trying to reestablish some positioning in fights, as well as trying to buy himself some time when he can go harass these expansions. But a little Viking drop here. And a nuke going off. But these Vikings, they're going to need to lift off when these come here. But there's Infestors. He needs to be careful. Those Infestors can fungal growth. These Vikings, there is a nuke somewhere. I don't know where. But losing a lot of those Vikings to those Infestors. And now Moon has Ultralisks. This is going to be very hard for Bomber to deal with. Ultralisks are so strong against, well, everything Terran has except for Marauders. And they're almost maxed out. They're 4-3. Ultras, of course, can go up to 5 armor because they have +2 armor upgrade. Beautiful EMPs on those Infestors. Infestors completely out of energy now. But Moon just running these Ultralisks right into the main. He's just bypassing these siege tanks. I don't know what Bomber is doing with these siege tanks here. He needs to get them back. They're way out of position to defend his base. I mean, Zerg just ran right by his siege tanks and they didn't even take shots. But these Thors doing a lot of damage to the Ultralisks. And these ghosts also doing a lot of damage. And surprisingly, Bomber is able to hold off this Ultralisk attack. But there's a few infestors here. They're going to hide. They're going to restore energy. And probably, if they can stay alive, bunch of infested Terran harassment eventually. But can he take out this Thor? He does take out that Thor before he dies. But Moon just coming in, making Zerglings. And a nice response by Bomber. He's now making Marauders because he sees Ultralisk. Marauders are so good against Ultralisk. Look at how fast this Ultra dies.